So in the last tutorial, I showed you how to make a line trace that when you go up to an actor that you've made, you can press your button, you can switch a light on and off like that. So I just wanted to sort of elaborate on that a little bit. I also made an extra actor of a platform. When you press it, it does that. So in this light blueprint that we made, where we made the set visibility for the point light, right? It doesn't, this set visibility is not exclusive to lights. That set visibility can be anything that you plugged in. So the cube could have set visibility and you could just do that. Could have a point light set hidden in game. That's kind of the same as set visibility. So, you know, you can do things a million different ways. Whatever you want to hide or show, you just use this set visibility or set hidden in game. Another thing that I wanted to explain as well, once you set up your interface system, it can be used uniquely on each thing. So say if I put a few lights up here, right, they've all got the same interface thing that's running from the line trace, but they're not all going to trigger at the same time. See that only that one light turns on. They're all working uniquely on their own. Another thing I wanted to explain as well is that when we've made these actors, to trigger it, we have to hit the light switch. To see, we have to actually hit the light switch to do it, right? And that's because of the way that the collision is working. So if we go to our third person character and we look at the line trace that's set in a collision, the trace channel is visibility, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new trace channel. So if you go to your project settings, go to file project settings, and at the top search, put trace channel, type trace channel. I see trace channels, new trace channel. Click this and call this, you can call it whatever you want, but we're going to call it player interact. As a default response, put ignore. Accept. Save all. And then on your third person character, if you go back to this now, look. See, now we've got player interact visibility. If I click this here, now my blueprint won't trigger at all because it's not hitting anything. So you might think, well, why do you want to do that? Because you might want to make a switch for this. So let's go to our light cube and add another static mesh. Let's add a cube for now. And we're going to drag this cube over here so it's away from it. So this, for example, this cube could be the button. Let's make a cylinder. And this is going to be a button, 0.1. So that little cylinder is the button for each light. We go up to it. That cylinder is not going to do anything because it's got no trace channel yet. So go back to your lights and then on the cylinder bit, scroll down and on collision presets, change this to custom. Now custom doesn't change everything, right? So you see what it says, you see all that block, ignore, block. When I press custom, it's not going to change that. It's just going to allow you to customize it. See, it's still the same, right? So now what we want to do is we want to block player interacts. We can actually ignore visibility because we might want to set a different trace for different things. Look, when I press E to do the line trace, the light isn't doing anything, but the cylinder will turn it on. See, so that's basically it. That's kind of all I wanted to explain is that you can add a new trace channel. So you can use it for different things. So you could have a trace channel for like headshots. You could have a trace channel for picking items up, for opening boxes, for interacting with things. You could have a different trace channel for opening a door as opposed to opening a lift or different things. Trace channels are very, very useful. Like, for example, every time you set this line trace off to interact, you might not want to be it touching anything else apart from things you want it to interact with. And it helps for things like this where you're building a blueprint that has the button inside it. So this is the button that you want it to interact with. So you put a block on player interaction and an ignore on visibility. And then because you put the player interact trace channel as default ignore, this is ignoring it as default, and this is ignoring it as default. I could put this to custom and then put this button to block that as well, and then now both things will do it. Look, both things will trigger it. Yeah, like I say, trace channels are very, very useful. So I just wanted to add that little bit of information into it. There's no right or wrong way of doing these line traces and from where they're starting, but most of the time you will try and get it to be the center of the camera and stuff. So yeah, that's about it. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.